Let all mortal flesh keep silent, and with fear and trembling stand.
As we celebrate this third Sunday of Advent, Gaudete Sunday, the very word means to be joyful. And it reminds us that not only is Christmas getting closer, but from the sacred reading of St. Paul, we are called to be joyful in the Lord. And you know, as people of faith, as people who are called to be missionary disciples, that's a good question to ask ourselves. Are we joyful? When people look at us in the workplace, in our schools, in our neighborhoods, they know we're Catholic, they know we believe in Jesus, but is there a joy we exude because of that faith? If not, then we're not really attracting people to the Lord. Because if we firmly believe what we profess, that the Lord was born one of us, took on our flesh to save us from sin and death, and that no matter what difficulty, challenge, or even tragedy this life throws our way, God's love is always the final answer. That's something to be joyful about. But do we demonstrate, do we share that, do we reflect that joy to the people around us? Or, like everyone else, do we get caught up in the difficulties, the challenges, and the stresses of life, which are all very real? But on Gaudete Sunday, we are called to remember that we are called to be joyful. Because when we share that joy, and I'm not talking about preaching to people or passing out pamphlets, just an eternal joy that comes out and is exuded in everything we do, draws people to Christ. Because they realize we have a gift they want as well. And that's the gift of our faith. That's the gift of God's love. As we continue our Advent journey of preparing our hearts for Christ, we have to realize that that's also a gift that needs to be shared. And the best way we share that is by being people of joy. And I'm not talking about a false sugarcoating, everything's roses, but a deep down joy and a peace that is rooted in the unimaginable love that God has for us. That should fill all of our hearts with joy. And that, my friends, needs to be a joy we share with the world. Not a sermon or a homily, but just something for all of us to reflect on.
Let all mortal flesh keep silent, and with fear and trembling